the land without end. The desert and death are the closest of friends. We sing of his courage in magnificent song, but pay close attention, he won't be here long.
Good afternoon, I'm Melissa Tyndale, and today we're coming to you from Lone Star State, Texas, where they are experiencing the effects of one of the most dangerous droughts in the history of America. Today I have with me Suzanne Parrish to discuss the Texas drought. It has been the worst one-year drought Texas has ever experienced. Suzanne, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, it definitely has been a hot summer, one of the hottest Texas has ever experienced. It has even been the hottest recorded in any state in the Union.
Yes, this extreme heat has made the drought worse by drying out grasses, trees, and soils, more than the lack of rain alone would do. The massive drought that has dried out Texas over the past year has killed as many as 500 million trees, according to new estimates from the Texas Forest Service.
And you know, Melissa, there have even been variations in sea surface temperatures that influence temperature and precipitation in Texas. Since the ocean temperatures affect atmospheric circulation, particular patterns of sea surface temperatures increase or decrease the risk of various weather events.
Some other interesting facts concerning the drought are natural patterns occur in cycles so that their contribution to weather risk goes up and down over time, but would not contribute to long-term trends in any one direction. Warmer water conditions in the Pacific and Atlantic happen to both be conducive to drought in Texas. Southwestern drought is having effects across the U.S. and even internationally, particularly in the food and agricultural sectors. Meteorologists have been hard at work as they determine how long the drought will be taking place in Texas. However, how do they determine when a drought is coming? Or how long will it be until rain comes? Today we have with us meteorologist Silvia Fernandez to explain a more scientific understanding of droughts.
Thank you, Melissa. A drought occurs when a region receives below average precipitation and an above average persistence of high pressure over the drought area. Precipitation is any product of the condensation of atmospheric water vapor that falls under gravity. The main forms of precipitation include rain, sleet, snow, and hail. If either of these three steps get altered, it results in a severe alteration of the other steps, eventually causing a drought to occur. Generally, rainfall is related to the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere, combined with the upward force of the air mass containing that water vapor. A drought occurs when either of these are reduced. In most important areas where drought occurs, the process of condensation is severely affected due to the high pressure conditions, which are not conducive for cloud formation. Water vapor is needed for the formation of clouds. When wind fails to carry the required amount of moisture, it can prevent the cloud formation process. A high air pressure causes air to fall instead of rising, and therefore no rain will fall. Higher pressure areas push clouds and air currents downwards and away, which results in sunny, cloudless weather, which are factors that cause a drought.
And it is not only farmers in Texas who are suffering, but farmers all over the world. We have on the phone with us now the President of the United States, Brittany Smith, who will inform us more about this matter.
Thanks for having me, Melissa. Because it covers a huge and economically significant area, the southwestern drought is having effects across the entire United States and even internationally, particularly in the food and agriculture sectors. Some of the farthest reaching effects may be on world cotton markets. This year, however, yields even from irrigated crops have fallen about 60% on the high plains where the bulk of Texas's cotton crop grows. Because production has decreased, buyers that would normally have come to Texas for this year to buy cotton are starting to look elsewhere. They are turning towards other cotton-producing countries like Brazil and Australia. As those buyers form new relationships, it's quite possible that some will never return to Texas. Due to these droughts, farmers have been forced to give up a lot of their unirrigated cotton crops. A lot of ranchers as well have been forced to send most of their cattle to slaughter due to the lack of vegetation to support their herds. It could take years to recoup these losses. Each week without rain, an estimated 5% of the cattle herd is sold. Not only this, but farmers are also competing with energy companies, both parties requiring water for their respective industries. Not only are farmers being affected, but also urban areas. City residents have been asked to conserve water by their local water authority. Mayor of the Texas A&M University Water Program suggests the state will see policy and legislative changes and the drought persists. If the drought also lasts another 2 to 4 years, he believes that the state will place more emphasis on water conservation by cities and agriculture.
Before we leave you for the afternoon, there is someone else that has also been influenced by the drought that would like to leave us with a few words on how the drought has affected him.
Thank you, Melissa. Today I have with us a good old dear friend of mine, Woody, who has been affected by the drought here in Texas. Woody, tell me who all has this affected in the agriculture world?
Well, that sure is a great question, Jessie. And the answer is everyone. Those with strong ties to agriculture and those who do not think they are involved at all are affected. Every farmer I know has been making adjustments to their farm because of the drought.
Wow, I never thought about this drought affecting everyone. Now what exactly do you mean by farmers having to make adjustments?
Well, for example, cattle farmers are at risk of not being able to keep all the cattle on their farms. This is for a number of reasons. For one, pastures have been overgrazed, which leads to problems for the cattle. The cost of feeding cattle has become extremely expensive, and as a result, many farmers are selling the cattle. Another problem with the cattle is, due to the lack of feed, many of the cattle are much smaller in size. Farmers selling their cattle to a meat company are having to sell much more in order to sell the same amount of meat as before the drought.
Well, there you have it, Melissa. The drought is affecting everyone and in very big ways. Overall, the estimated agriculture loss due to this drought is $5.2 billion. Woody here is just one of the many farmers who have been affected.